Hey up guys, what's going on and welcome back to York City where we are 6th in the table with 6 teams to go, and realistically there are 6 teams going for those last 2 playoff spots. The devil's in the details. Now of course there's no games to get you caught up on because we're basically starting where we left off last time out, which was the international crisis that was the match against Birmingham City. Yeah, we lost that 3-1. This is something I wanted to show you though, the past positions of the 6 teams involved in getting these last 2 places. And really, I want to divert your attention to week 25 where we were 14th in the table. All the other contenders for this 6th place right now were between 9th and 4th. The one that's missing, by the way, is Reading, who have done incredibly well to this point as well. They have also capitalised on these 5 teams not really doing anything since the turn of the new year. Just to point that out, that's Reading. Quite annoyingly, the 3 teams here, including us, have very similar colours, so it's kind of hard to make out in some places. But we're the pink. And with only 2 losses, I think it is in the league, 3 maybe now, since the turn of the new year, that's our form. We have put ourselves back into this mix whilst these guys have basically done very little. In particular, Brentford have had an absolute stinker of a new year. They started it in 4th and now find themselves in 9th. A good solid 6 points, I think they are, behind. So, but realistically, any of these guys, provided they do well in these last 6 games, could be a problem for the players. I say problem as if I want to be there. This is something we talked about previously. Going straight through from League One to the Premier League is a massive, massive problem. That being said, we have beaten 2 teams from the Premier League in the FA Cup run that we've enjoyed this year, and only narrowly really lost to West Brom, who are mid-table in the Premier League. I mean, losing to West Brom 3-2 away from home, my board are concerned by that loss, which is... I don't think you really understand the situation between the 2 teams there, if I'm honest. Now, Bristol City are a team I think started actually quite well, but they have found themselves in the lower reaches for most of the rest of the season now. Currently in 16th. The other game today is against another side in this bottom end. I've forgotten the exact one it is, but they are down here, that's for certain. Tomorrow's will include Reading, and the last one, I believe, includes Stoke, of course, who are in the mix with us. So we do have a fairly kind run in fact. It's 4 teams where the highest is this one, Bristol City, in 16th, and then 2 other teams who are with us in these playoff section. So I think we do have one of the kinder run-ins. Now, after the international incident that we had last episode, I naturally just let my assistant manager do the team for this week because it was a lot easier than me clicking through a lot of players to get back in the side. Now, there was a few interesting things that he did straight off the bat. I fixed them already, so you don't see them right now. First of all, he had Burrows at right back. Gonna have to look into that one, but I'm pretty certain Shower is the better player. Secondly, he had Ebbers back in the Mazzala rather than the inside forward. They still don't understand inside forwards properly. And the fact that, obviously, the opposite foot is the necessary thing. They still don't understand that. They were the wrong way around. The players they had there in the first place. But yeah, he had Carter where Nassel is, and then he had Ebbers back where Carter is, which is curious. Because Ebbers back is not a midfielder, a central midfielder. So, and more importantly, Nassel, as you saw on the first page today, 2nd best player in the league. Yep, don't get it. Keep an eye on this Sacramento, by the way. That's the name I suspect you're going to be seeing a lot of in the future. He's 18. I've scoured him for a reason. I've tried to buy him at times. They want a lot of money for him. Just keep an eye on this guy. Abilio Sacramento. He's 18 and he's playing in the first side. So they've got another new gen in here, 19. That looks alright. Not up to our level, but he looks alright. He's actually can play everywhere down here. That could be incredible utility, actually. Now, there's a few cities in the world, there's a few cities in the country who I feel like should be bigger in terms of footballing. Bristol's one of them. Birmingham, admittedly we've got Aston Villa sort of now, back in the top division. But yeah, there's a few cities who I feel like should be represented in the top division. And Bristol are one of them. And they've not had one since I was alive, I'm pretty certain. I might be wrong on that front. Apparently the odds are against us. We're 6th, they're 16th, because I went through this last time, didn't I? Every team that we are higher in the table, they're like, oh, we're the underdogs when it comes to the team talk. And every team that we're behind, they're very surprised that we don't beat them. It's so confusing. There's no consistency to it. They've scored. Maybe they have a point. Okay then. Right. Okay. 15th goal of the season. Sorry, did their centre-back take that? No. He got the assist, so it must come off their centre-back, and yes, there we are. That's in the net. People on the post doing jack all again. I don't know why I bother. Madeira now gets past Fredericks. Shot. Has one. And it ricochets back into their possession. That's incredibly fortunate for them. Sacramento's through here. He might have been offside. He wasn't. Told you to keep an eye on him. What's happening? Hang on. Madeira rues his mistake. This is Madeira here. What exactly did he do wrong other than not put a tackle in quick enough? Like, he closed him down, but he did the pass before he managed to close him down fully. Don't really know why Madeira's at fault for that. According to the text. Surely it's the backline that's at fault for letting Sacramento through. And we've not had a game like this in, well, ever, really. The last one, technically, I suppose. But that had other extenuating circumstances. Worth noting, despite the fact we're 2-0 down, no one's capitalising still. Bear in mind the teams behind us were only 1 point. It's a penalty now. Fantastic news. It's 3-0. Yeah, we were 1 point clear of the chasing pack, and we still are despite losing 3-0. Just disbelief of that penalty, really, more than anything. Well played. Brentford are playing Leeds, so that is a tough one for them. And we've not had a game like this all season. There's a couple of games which were decided by 2-goal margins, which weren't reflective of the gameplay. This one, admittedly, they've had 3 clear-cut chances, we've had none. All the other stats, you'd say that we're on top of it. But clear-cut chances are the ones that really matter, and that's what they're having. Oh, finally, looks like Palace are doing something. Well, they were doing something. Right inside, Leetau, inside forward, there we go. Carter's on a 6.5, but it's weird. We're 3-0 down, but there's not a lot of terrible ratings on this list. Davis is going to come on again. Squire's taken up, by the way. Forgot to mention that. He's back tomorrow, I think it is. So he'll be in the next match, provided there's no other injuries, of course. Coco, great film. Back to Fredericks. De Silva Lopez, Carroll, Sergio Andrade. I was going to say, very surprised. What on earth just happened there? Oh, kind of forgot to mention, Dutra's back. And he's conceded 4 goals. He's never conceded 4 goals. Admittedly, not fully match sharp, but he was never going to be because there's just not enough under-23s matches to do it. This is the kind of thing I was expecting to happen in this division. Just straightforward. And it's got to be said, they've turned this around in terms of shots. This isn't a possession-hungry tactic, so the possession stats is kind of interesting. Yeah, before his injury, by the way. 420 minutes without conceding. So, we know how good Dutra is. I have no idea what I've just witnessed. I think we should let the team know we appreciate their efforts. Nick, we need to have words again. We've lost 4-0, Nick. What effort should I be appreciating there? A little jaded could do with a rest. They've literally just played 1 match. International. I know. But, no, they're not resting. There's 5 games left this season. There's 5 games left this season. There's a week gap between all of them. I have no idea why the Birmingham match wasn't scheduled in between any of these matches, but okay. What did everyone else do? Because no one else capitalised in the end. Palace drew. Fulham lost. Brentford lost to Leeds in Italy. Luton lost to Swansea. Are we going to end up in the playoffs? Purely because no one else wants to be there. Stoke haven't played yet. Stoke lost 2. Hang on. Palace drew. Everyone else in the playoff picture lost. And now Derby are technically in the mix as well. It's like the Europe situation in the Premier League the past couple of years. I've said it before. It's like no one wants to get promoted. Also, Edgar's 3-match ban. Great. Does mean he'll be back for the last 2, which I'd argue are probably the most important. I know Reading's in the next 3, so that's not great. Oh, youth intake. A defensive midfielder who might be okay. I mean, let's be honest, my coaches and scouts aren't necessarily the best raters of potentials here, but could be worse. According to this, for squad players, maybe. Bear in mind, of course, they're rating them against current championship level players, if that. Genie's time in Notts County didn't last. By the way, when I wore my scene shirt, I was hoping the scenes were going to be in my favour. 4-0. Meanwhile, Man City have done a Liverpool and have sealed the title with ridiculous amount of games to go. What is that gap? 22 points, I want to say it is. Yeah, 22 points. So, today's second match is against Millwall, who are at the foot of the table as things stand. So we can help out Lincoln, who are in the mix of relegation right now, by defeating one of their rivals. We do have to play Lincoln next, though, so that's tomorrow's episode. In regards to the other teams that are in the mix, Stoke have Watford, Fulham are away at Preston, Crystal Palace plays Swansea, Luton have Lincoln, and probably the most important one here is Derby versus Brentford. Now, Derby are 5 points away, Brentford are 6 points away. They're sort of the bottom end of the ones that could probably get into the mix, and whoever wins this one means probably the other one won't be. If they draw, I would possibly argue, depending on the other results, that neither of them will feature. Now, Edgar's suspension comes at a really poor time, actually. John Egan's been injured for ages and is still going to be out for a little bit longer. But most importantly, Medina's also taken a knock for a few weeks too. So, whilst he could probably cover the third match of the three-match suspension, first two are not going to be capable of, which leaves us with the options of Sergi or putting Lentus there. And I think, despite it not being a natural thing for him, 12 tackling, he does have the stats for the rest of it. So I think Lentus makes more sense than Sergi, because A, it gives him a bit of development space, a bit of time on the pitch, while Sergi's going to leave at the end of the year. So thinking forwards, that's fine. There's a couple of other things I want to do here. Now, the indifferent form of both Medina and Alonso means I'm going to put Shanley in on that side, the reason why we loaned him in the first place. Squires is back, and he's better than Carter in that position, so that's good news for the bench at the very least, because it gives me another homegrown player. The team for this match is Dutra in goal, Davila on the left, Borges and Lentus in central defence, Shaw on the right, Wilson in the anchor man, Nacelle and Squires in the middle of the midfield, with Shanley and Ebersbach on the wings and Schott up front. Now, Ebersbach actually featured in the top 3 young players, I think it was. So he's actually doing okay of late, and I hope he keeps up that form. We're also home to bottom of the table. We will start positive. Apparently we're in a poor run of form. We've lost 2 games in the league. That's literally it. That's all it is. It's compounding the West Brom loss. I told you they give too much emphasis on losing in cups. A is the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, which is an astounding place to be as a championship side in the first place. B is West Brom, who were 10th in the Premier League at that point. So, and we only lost by 1 goal. And yet, it's ruined our morale. Squires goes close. They have a corner. What has just happened? Is that technically a Schmeicheling Sergio there? I need to see this in 3D. What happens here? No, it's not a Schmeicheling. He drops the ball. I've never seen that in format. I've seen them take it over their own line because of the animations glitching and things like that. Like they pull the ball back to then kick it, and then in the process of pulling it back, they pull it over their own line. But he full on dropped it there. Shots equalised. Thank God. I've never seen a goalkeeper drop the ball like that. Literally drop the ball like that. Again, scenes, but not the ones I was expecting. Shot, fantastic. I mean, no one's marketing him. He had all the time in the world to do that. And he did it quite handily with a lovely seeing lines on it now, as if he clearly wasn't onside. There we are, 3 of them basically playing him on. Shot, smash, in. So, back to a draw. Still outside the playoffs because Palace are doing something now. So, Luton are drawing because we were a point behind them to start off with. Palace must be winning their match. Ebersbach hits the crossbar and that goes out. Yes, Palace are winning. Fulham are drawing. Stoke are drawing. Something just happened there for one of them, I'm pretty certain. What is happening in this match? What? That's what happened. Stoke are losing now. But what is happening? What was that? In goes the corner. It hits Lee. Dutra saves it fantastically. And then somehow Lee has the reactions of a leopard and tackles it into the goal. Reading a top out of nowhere, by the way. Can we stop the tackle goals, please? Like, I don't mind it when a player genuinely tackles another player and it goes in that way. But when it's a reactive tackle like that, which would never happen in reality, Borges went for it, blimey. when it's a reaction tackle like that, which would never ever ever happen in real life, can we cut them out of the game? They've had 2 shots, they've gone in. Actually, technically they've not. Oh my god, we've given away another penalty. I'm done. I'm done with this. I was going to record all 3 of them in one go here. I might have to stop after this one just to not calm down, but just to straighten my head out. Lolly makes it 3. Like, what is happening? They're 3-1 up with 3 shots on target. This is the most I've ever been FM'd in this year's game so far. Yeah, he's well offside. Yeah, to be honest, he looked more offside than the lines actually gave him for. But technically, neither the own goal nor the Bailey Lee would have counted as shots on target, in fairness, because that would have gone down as a tackle, and that would have gone down as obviously as an own goal. So, show a bit of desire, I'm going to say. We're way on top of this game statistically. I've never been FM'd like this. Evers back through to shot. I might have to go 2 up top. I may go 2 up top. Can we defend a corner, please? If you could just pay attention to their players at corners, that would be great. No one even jumped. Do they even know they're playing football right now? Well, the Lentis experiment's gone well. I'm just eyeing his capabilities as a defender. Just considering it. Because I need to take someone off, but I don't want to take Wilson off because he's a very good player. I mean, realistically, I think the thing to do here is actually go narrow. Actually, no, I'm going to keep Ebbers back out there and have South as a pressing forward on that left-hand side. That's the thing to do here. Because in the absence of a player who can actually play football on that left-hand side, we might as well just abandon the position entirely. Time has passed. Shao is now having a throw-in. I think this is the first time in a very long while I feel like I've been genuinely angry on an episode. Can we do something? That'd be nice. Screw it. I'm going to do the defensive swap. I never take off defenders, but I have to. He's on a 6.3. At the very least, I'll get a question in the post-match interview saying, why didn't you take him off? Because he's a defender, and that's a strange thing to do. None of the other defences doing anything really of note. Just the one for now. I'm just going to do that for now. I know Ebersbach's a bit tired, but he's actually having a good game, so I don't want to take him off. Nacelle across to Davila, who now has obviously all the space in the world because there's no one else over there. Gets past the man somehow. South's there. How's that not even gone at the goalkeeper? Now, admittedly, Millwall will come back into this, statistically, on everything except possession. Nacelle avoids playing it short, because why would you even bother? Right, what's going on here? I don't know why this highlight's continuing, because I'm pretty certain that was on the corner that came from South's shot in the first place, so that should end now, and it does. There we are. He is exhausted. I'm going to have to take him off. Right, highlight to get some kind of maybe respect out of this game. Nacelle. He smashed another one in. 4 goals for the season now. All 4 of them have been like that, I'm pretty certain. Sergi. Involved. Litao. Nacelle. Pointless 1-2. Smashes it in. I really have zero clue what the point of that 1-2 was, considering no one else on the pitch moved during that process. Another highlight that starts with a throw-in for us. Litao. Every highlight starts with a throw-in over here, I seem to find. Shao, it's probably because that's where the winger is. Shao, shot, pulls away. Nicely done. All of a sudden, there's a chance. Shao, like, what Shot does here is phenomenal. I'm pretty certain he moonwalks away from the tackle and then puts it in. Now, it's worth noting, of course, the fact we have dropped 1 place, but we're still only 1 point behind Luton. As we were at the start of this. No. Callum Lascelles made his 250th career league appearance. Callum Lascelles made his 250th league appearance for York. Scored his 50th goal for York. 50 goals in 250 appearances from a midfielder isn't too bad, really. 1 goal every 5 games from midfield isn't too shabby. 250 appearances. I have a feeling he's going to end up being our highest appearing player in this save. I suspect no other player's ever going to beat that. Considering especially as Nacelle will probably still be with us next year in the Championship as things are looking. It's a hard one to really justify in a team talk at the end of this because performance-wise, statistically, 3 of their goals were ridiculous. Now, The corner where no one jumped, that one's on us. The penalty, technically that one's on us, I suppose. The corner where he scored a tackle, that's the game. That's one of the game's stupid quirks. The dropping the ball, that's the game's stupid quirk. Like, I don't know if that's a thing in the game, if that's just like a random occurrence that happens from time to time. It's just happened now at the worst possible moment. So yeah, that simply put was not good enough. We should have won that match, but mostly because 2 of their goals shouldn't have happened. They're fired up and motivated. For what good that does. Good news. Why does this kind of thing always happen when we lose? It happened last year. I remember the team talks, the passive-aggressive team talks from the end of last year, they basically went, well, despite the fact you lost, we've got promoted. Despite the fact you've lost, we've won the league. Despite the fact we've lost, York celebrate best ever Sky Bet Championship finish. 2 goals from Shot, though. Fantastic work from him. He's started to get good at the end of the season. A little bit too late. I can't rest him. The next one's Lincoln. I might rest him there. Because I definitely need him for Reading. I was going to rest him against this match, but didn't matter. We still needed him. Right, join us next time as we inevitably capitulate against Lincoln and Reading as well, I suspect now. We've conceded 4 goals twice in a row. This, by the way, Dutra was not in goal for Birmingham, it's worth noting, so Dutra has never conceded 4 goals in his history. I'm pretty certain. Nottingham Forest. That's a lie. That was one of the games where the scoreline didn't reflect the game. Every other match this season that we lost by a 1-goal margin. Until now. Admittedly, that was technically a 1-goal margin. But until then. This was not how I saw this cut going. Join me tomorrow as we try and work our way through our remaining 4 matches with some form of dignity. Until then, ta-ra!